We gonna party tonight or what?
Yeah, we are gonna party.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Hey, Lashy Kids and Driving Mutants. How are you this Friday afternoon? We made it through another week. Let me check out what's going on in the chat. Marty is here like clockwork, and I always appreciate you, Marty. He says, pimp tweet ahoy. I appreciate it because a lot of times I forget to tweet that I'm going live. Today, I forgot to even put it on Instagram. So hopefully people still remember to come through. I should probably share it on Instagram right now. Tony Man says, hello, I'm here, but I've been busy as F. I'll interact more when the clock hits 5 p.m. Hopefully you're still going. Most likely I will, since I started a little bit late. Apologies again for that. Wait, this one says, love the new clip intro before the intro. Yeah, I worked on that one. I tried to put some of my favorite movie clips in there without making it too long. And then he says, tan lines popping. Yes, it's the end of the summer, so and I've been out swimming. Well, not really swimming. I've been out floating. Let me not lie. I did not swim at all. I just floated around, and still fun. Chris says, hey, Shash, I hope you have a great show. I'll catch the replay later. I always appreciate you, Chris. Not a problem at all. All right, so if y'all will give me a moment, I'm going to go ahead and share that I'm live right now on Instagram since I forgot to do it. So bear with me. While I'm doing this, let me know, how did your week turn out so far anyways? Hopefully everybody's doing okay. I know it's been trying times, especially with the different things going on, like in, as far as like, people keep saying when we had COVID as if it's not still happening. It's definitely still happening. And then, did you guys see the guy that went to McDonald's with the monkeypox on his hand? Oh, that was so gross. I saw that on TikTok. That totally grossed me out. There, I shared it. Fominki Latte is in the house. They say, hey everyone. Someone says hair looks beautiful as well. Whatever you did worked. Well, thank you. What I did is I'll show you what I did. I used this and I went like this and I picked it. That's what I did. There we go. So, to refresh everybody's memory, the first movie that I wanted to talk about is RRR. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue up a short trailer, because some of the trailers for RRR were showing too much. Like the one that is on T Series basically shows the whole movie. So, I'm going to play the Netflix version of the trailer, and then we'll get into it, because it really, I feel like more people need to be talking about it. Here we go. Tournament says it. If that dude went to a food place, monkeypox, he's an a-hole. By the way, he is. He made a video himself sitting in his car with a McDonald's cup, showing that he had just saying that he just went through the drive-through of McDonald's because he was hungry. And I'm like, dude, you literally could have just did Uber Eats. And they have like no contact. Well, at least where I am in Florida, have no contact, where they will drop your order at the door and ring the doorbell and book it, and then you pick it up, so you don't have any physical contact. I still spray all my stuff down with Lysol, because I already have anxiety, so that these things are giving me like triple the amount of anxiety. Anyways, that was just so nasty, and the fact that he put it on TikTok, like I don't know, he must be a sociopath. Flo said, how did they let him in the door? It's dangerous working in food service. He went through the drive-through, but still, I mean, by the time he drove up, they probably didn't know that he had. I would show you the video because it's on TikTok, but I don't want to look at it again, so I'm not gonna play it again. But let's get into RRR. Here's the trailer. Brace yourself for that scene was amazing. I mean, we watched the movie. And yes, he did throw that motorcycle at somebody. Brace yourself. Tony says Carlton saw RRR and he gave it a 4-star approval. I agree. I would probably give it 5 stars, because I damn near cried, because it's not just an action movie. It's actually a historical drama, and it takes place during the time of the British occupation of India. And it shows a lot of the horrific things that they went through. And the main story of the movie, actually, let me pull up the other trailer. Well, to me, I felt like it showed too much, but if you haven't seen the movie, then you probably wouldn't think it showed too much. But it still is a really good trailer. Let me look at it here. I just want to pull up the other trailer. the T-Series trailer. This is the official trailer, but it pause. Let me rewind it. You can see where I stopped it because I was like, but to be fair, the movie is 3 hours long, so I guess maybe it didn't show too much, but to me, we're going to speed up this one because the trailer is 3 minutes long. And that's part of the problem. I don't think any trailer should be 3 minutes long. 2 minutes max. Once you go beyond really, the best trailers are like 1 minute and 30 seconds. But once you go beyond 2 minutes, you're showing too much. You could see how, like, the scale that this movie is on. Now that scene that you were seeing right there, that's the impetus for the storyline in the movie. Let me try to pause it on that. What happens at the very beginning of the movie is this little girl is she is enslaved by these British colonists. And one of the main characters of the story is her older brother who's trying to rescue her from slavery. One of the other main characters is a person that is first presented to us as being pretty much what you would call the Indian equivalent of a coon. Like, he's working on the side of the British as a soldier of some sort. And I think he ends up, going up the ranks. Oh, no, not soldier. I think police officer would probably be a more accurate term because he ends up going undercover. And he's going undercover to try to find, I would call them freedom fighters. But at the same time, if I tell this, that's kind of like telling. Well, I did say this was going to be a spoiler review, so if you guys are here, I'm going to have to tell you the story. Fomiki says, I was ready to say all that's missing is an angry tiger. I stand corrected. Yes. Well, let me play this and then I'll get more into the story. There are no subs on the trailer. But for the movie, you know what's interesting? I can't remember whether I watched it with subtitles or whether I watched it dubbed. I literally can't remember. I just know I was engrossed in it. No, I believe it was subtitled, but half of the dialogue's in English anyways because of the British colonists there.
शेर को पकड़ने के लिए शिकारी चाहिए। एक आदमी है सर। जान से भी प्यारी तुम्हारी दोस्ती तो हमेशा होगी। खुशी खुशी कुर्बान हो जाऊंगा।
This movie also has a bromance and two romances because the characters, like I said, the one that's trying to rescue his enslaved sister and the one that's an undercover police officer, they become friends. But there's also, and that's one subplot, and then there's a subplot where the guy that's trying to rescue his sister has a love interest, and the officer also has a love interest. So this movie has so many layers in addition to the action. Yeah, that's what caught me off guard when I first saw this. Was the scenes with both his sister, and that's his mother there. This is the sister that's clearly she is enslaved, and then you see the horrific way in which his mother is treated. And I thought this is very important for people to see because sometimes we live in a vacuum of our own cultural history, our own country's history, and we forget that similar things have happened in other cultures, in other countries. And I think it's important for us to learn about these things. I think it brings us closer together as people when we're able to identify with each other about certain things. But yeah, that was like heartbreaking to see that. But also I can see the parallels between their treatment and like if you've ever seen Roots, like it's very, very similar story or similar historical, you know, context, I should say, rather than story. Wait, I think I skipped over some here. Toyman says he also enjoyed Carter. He told me to let you know. Well, let him know. Why is he not watching the show? Tell Carlton to watch this show and comment. He's welcome here. I think I read that one, but I'll read it again because it's still good. I was ready to say all that's missing is an angry tiger. I stand corrected. And it's one of the best scenes involves animals. Did you see my Carter post? Yes, I did. And Marty says, hey, Lady Shasha. Hey, Marty, I hope your week is going great. Has it cooled down over there, by the way? I mean, where I'm at, I'm in Central Florida where it's always hot. Like right now, Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 94 degrees Fahrenheit. By the way, during this busy time of year, I can remind you to do something later so you don't forget. Just say, remind me.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's 94 today, which is actually cooler because it was a little bit warmer than that. But I saw in the news of the record-breaking heat in Europe right now, especially around the UK. So let me know, Marty, has it cooled down yet?
ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट से बगावत करने के जुर्म में तुम्हें अरेस्ट करता हूं। छुप छुप के डर डर के नहीं, सामने से वार करना होगा। जो भी रास्ते में आए उसे काट डालेंगे। बहुत खतरा है, जान गवा दोगे। खुशी खुशी गवा दूंगा चाचा। अपनी जंग ढूंढते हुए हथियार खुद ब खुद आएंगे।
Say, I don't want to show beyond this point because then it's too much of a spoiler. For those of you that have not seen the movie, just trust me that it's a badass movie. I think it's one of the highest rated movies, not rated, I'm sorry, highest grossing movies in India for maybe, I think 2021. I think this was the #1 highest grossing movie, and it was available in IMAX and 3D. And I would have loved to see this in IMAX and 3D because just seeing it on the TV, we have like I think the TV in the living room is like 60 inch, maybe 60 or 60 ish inch TV, and it and the surround sound, amazing, amazing. Let me switch this over for a moment because I'm gonna just put the poster up and talk for a while. Just so if anyone comes in, they know what we're talking about. I'll just do it like this. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Okay, Marty says, it was thankful because the melting point of an Irish is 22. Tony Man says, here, but on 1%. What do you mean? Your phone is on 1%? And I have to do the math on, because that's probably 22 Celsius. I want to say it's probably in the 70s, but I could be wrong. Let's see, 22 Celsius to Fahrenheit is 71 degrees. Yeah. Now, what I was saying about RRR, if you can't tell from the trailer, the action was completely on point. Like, it was just amazing. I love over-the-top action because that's what I grew up with. I grew up watching Commando. I grew up watching Invasion USA. Was it Death Wish 1 or 2 that had, I think it was Death Wish 2 that had the rocket launcher. Like, if I don't, this is what I grew up on. So for me, this is a good time. Explosions, things that, defy gravity or logic, but still work. I enjoy that type of action, so this was my type of action movie. But like I said, at the same time, it's also a historical drama. Although they did, what I'm reading is that they did take liberties with, obviously they took liberties with historical accuracy in order to insert these dynamic fight scenes. But the two men did exist. The two men that these two characters are based off of did exist. It's kind of like how in X-Men, some would say that Professor X is kind of like a avatar for Martin Luther King, and Magneto is like an avatar for Malcolm X. It's like that type of thing. But man, and the way that they portrayed the British, you want to talk about villainous, especially the lady. There's like this lady that she wanted to be whipped with this spiked whip. It was so gruesome and nasty. She was a piece of work. She was really, really evil. Just evil, evil, evil. There is, this being an Indian film, there is a really great dance scene. But unlike Bollywood movies, I should have mentioned this is not a Bollywood movie. This is a South Indian picture release, and Bollywood is in North India. Unlike Bollywood movies where they just throw in dance scenes wherever, whenever, in this movie, the dance scene actually happens at a dance or a party. So it kind of makes sense. It's not just, oh, we're just going to start dancing in the middle of whatever sentence. No, this dance scene actually was at a party, so it made sense. And it was really, really cool. And the song is catchy. Like, that song was in my head all day. It's still in my head. I'm not going to sing it because apparently on YouTube, even if you sing a song, you could get a copyright strike for singing a song now. Not even just playing it. That's crazy. But I mean, I cannot impress upon you enough to watch this movie. It's on Netflix. Let me see, because I really cannot remember for the life of me whether I watched it with the English dub or with subtitles. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. Because I'm so used to watching stuff either way. Okay, this is saying why and how you should watch RRR IGN. Let's see here. Now that's interesting. It says here RRR is now screening across theaters in Japan, and its next RRR movie, and RRR has officially unveiled the cast for the English dub release of the movie ahead of its launch in theaters worldwide later this August. So I want to know, when is RRR going to be in the theater here? Because I want to see it in the theater. Okay, now I gotta. That still didn't answer my question whether it was English dub or not. Yeah, okay. So on Netflix, only the Hindi dubbed version is available. So I did watch it with the subs on, and the original Telugu version is also available. So it's available in Hindi and in Telugu, but it's subtitled, English subtitles. But honestly, I literally didn't even notice. I really didn't notice. But they were, like I said, half of the dialogue was in English anyways when the British were speaking and when they were speaking to the British. So it was go back and forth between being in English, and my mind literally didn't notice. But back to the other thing, when is it available in theaters? Is RRR in theaters? In the USA. Oh, it was only for one day. RRR was in American theaters for one day, June 1st in 2022. Well, that stinks. Because this was like the scale of this. I just can imagine, as much as I enjoyed it watching on the TV in the living room. I keep saying the TV in the living room because that's the big one. The one in my bedroom is just. Let me think. I don't know what the size in the bedroom is. Maybe 22 inch, 30 inch. It's a small TV. It's a little small bedroom TV. But moving on, I really wish that would have been. I really wish that would have been in theaters here. Oh, I should show you some of the reactions to it in the theaters. I think you'll enjoy that. Let me. Oh, I see. Um, Tony Man saying Carlton is here, but on 1%. Oh, okay. And his phone died, but you got another view. I appreciate it. Okay, that's. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can navigate this. Where is the search? Oh, I maybe have to log in order to search. Hang on, let me log into this real quick. Tony T says, where is it? There we go. Stopping by to say hello. I'm at work. We'll watch the stream later. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate you so much. Try to relax and make it through. Well, I was going to say your last day at work, but I don't know people's schedules because there was a time period where I had Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. So Friday wasn't like my last day at work. And that kind of, I didn't hate it too much, but I think I would dislike it now if I had to work through the weekend. I don't want notifications. Block. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we are actually going to go on TikTok for a hot second because there were a lot of in-theater reactions to RRR. There we go. That's one of the biggest scenes, but let's scroll down to. This is in Nepal. What the heck happened? That's weird. When I click on it, it's not displaying right. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if it's this. That's what it is. Okay. There we go. Where's the sound? So we're just going to have technical difficulty all day today, huh? There we go. Now that looks like fun. Just being in the theater and just, that looks like fun. Marty says, Shasha, I linked some folks to this video and some don't have YouTube accounts and have to sign in because it's age restricted. It's meant to be like that, right? I did not age restrict this particular video. I don't know why. Why am I coming up age restricted? I'm not talking about anything that, I mean, these movies are not rated, aren't even rated R, I don't think. I'm not sure how to correct that, Marty. I will look into it today, though, when I get off the live stream. I don't know why I'm being age restricted. Maybe just because I'm talking about horror movies. It could be that YouTube did that to me. I wouldn't be surprised.
गूंज ढोल ऐसे देखो धंधना के रोगी नाचे शोर सुन लो है धमाका जैसे शेर हाथी नाचे देखो दिल का ये मेला यार अपने साथ नाचो एड़ियों के जोरों पे तुम धड़ाका देसी नाचो ओ पसीना माथे का चमके धमके ऐसे नाचो हाँ जा छोरे हाँ जा गोरे हाँ जा छोरे नाचो 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 वीर नाचो 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 यार नाचो 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 आगवारा राग छेड़ा नाचो 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 उसने चक्का लागे तीनका नाचो
I dare you to get that song out of your head. I dare you to get that song out of your head. Thank you. But yeah, let me get out of here before I get dinged because I'm already tempting fate. But that was, I mean, some people have even called this like the Indian Black Panther, which I think could be a good description. Angela W says, hey, what's up and wish you all a lovely Friday. What's up, Angela? Welcome to the stream. We just finished talking about RRR, which is this really, really great Indian film. We showed a little bit of the trailer. It's on Netflix, by the way, but it's action, it's romance, it's historical drama, it's everything. Trash Picture Show says, why haven't we had an Indian Mario Brothers yet? These guys would be perfect. Yeah. Well, there might be. You have to look it up because I've only just recently found out that there is a Indian version of Child's Play. And there's also, well, I found out from Curly Girl at the Movies about the Indian version of Nightmare on Elm Street. So you really just have to look for them. I wouldn't be surprised to find that if there is an Indian Mario Brothers. I'm saying yo to Angela. Are y'all ready to move on and talk about Carter? Because I am. I'm ready to talk about Carter. Let me pull up that trailer. Because that's another one. That one is coming out of South Korea. And it's super, super dynamic. Tony Man says, I take offense to Mario Brothers. Yes, I remember you telling me that as an Italian American. You also gave me an earful about the Jersey Shore and what you described as Italian coonery. So, yeah, I do remember that. Let's reshare the screen again. I wish the app that I might investigate using different apps because I feel it's a little janky the way StreamYard makes me go back and forth, but it could also be because I'm using the free version of StreamYard. Maybe the paid version is a little more user-friendly. Marty says, sorry, Tony Man. All right, so let's check out. Oh, wait, let me see. Did I adjust the? Yes, okay, playback speed is adjusted. Let's check it out.
I can't remember anything.
Your name is Carter.
Carter.
There is a device implanted in your ear. You are the only one who can hear me.
사방에 CIA가 걸려 있습니다.
Listen to me.
If you wanna live.
Who are you?
당신의 임무는 정원아를 찾아 북으로 데려오는 것입니다.
A mutant virus has emerged with over 8.5 million infected people. 제가 치료제잖아요. 인간 치료제.
아저씨 꽉 잡아.
Baby, we are gonna start a fire.
They're absolutely right when they say nonstop action. Yeah, I'm gonna freeze it on there. Marty says they look more like Stalin more than anything if it helps Tony. And Angela says, Hooray, Martin. And hell yeah, I'm on what's you all are talking about. Plus, I just played Mario Kart 64 with a friend after work. Funny timing today. Gonna play up the India beat. Yes. Yeah, we were formerly talking about I forgot to mention what RRR stands for. It stands for what was it? See, now I forgot that fast. Rise, Roar, Revolt. That's what it stands for. Rise, Roar, Revolt. But yeah, RRR is that movie right now. And Carter also is that movie right now, which I thought Carter was only going to be solely a action movie. But as you saw in the trailer, there's also a virus that the people could be described as zombie-like. They looked kind of like rage zombies. So you had that, but it still was more action than horror. But what makes Carter more dynamic to me is how it's filmed. There's a lot of action sequences that you could tell that they had to use a drone to shoot them, because the way the camera follows him, it's not like they use several things. Like you can tell where there's some, regular dolly shots. There's some shots where they might use a jib. There's some shots where it's completely handheld and you can tell it's handheld. But then there's these really super dynamic shots that they use drones for. And they just did an amazing job with those. Marty says, love the dynamic camera work on this. Reminds me of Villainous. I've not seen Villainous yet. Angela says, hey, that clip looks cool too. Chill with popcorn. Yes, it's definitely a popcorn flick, Angela. I'm telling you. And what's crazy is I'm not the biggest like Netflix fan. Like that's probably like my third favorite streaming service. Like if anything, I would say my top streaming services would probably be Tubi, because of the amount of video store classics that they have. Tubi is like the gift that keeps on giving. Shudder, I really enjoy Shudder. Amazon Prime is really great for like their content when it comes to like The Boys, Invincible, and just recently they have this show called Paper Girls, which I'm really, really enjoying, which is also based off a comic series. But so Netflix, no, that drops to the 4. Netflix would probably be like my fourth like. But the thing that I like the most about Netflix is their documentaries are some of the best documentaries. Like we talked just a pinch last week about that Woodstock 99 documentary. Check that one out if you have not seen that. But with these two releases of RRR and Carter, Netflix is making a comeback. I think they're making a comeback when it comes to their Eastern content. With their American content, it's still not that great, because I didn't mention it, but I did watch the Jamie Foxx vampire movie. What was it called? Night Watch or Day Watch? I forget the name of it, but it wasn't very good. Well, I take that back. It was good and bad at the same time. It was bad in that the storyline was kind of iffy and a lot of the jokes just didn't land, but the action sequences were really, really good. So I will say that for that Jamie Foxx vampire movie, the action sequences were really, really well done. Whoever did those, they kind of remind, I think I might have heard that they were done by the same team that did John Wick, but that could be just a rumor. So don't quote me on that. But the action sequences in that movie were really good, but that's it. Like if you just fast forward through the story and only watch the action sequences, you have a good time. But the rest of it, I couldn't get with. And I don't believe Dave Franco as a nerd character. Like if you had made this movie in the 80s, his character probably would have been played by like Rick Moranis or Bill Murray. And he just doesn't have that thing that those guys had to play awkward people. Yeah, I could see that as the 80s. If this was the 80s, it would have been Eddie Murphy instead of Jamie Foxx, and then it would have been Rick Moranis or Bill Murray. Even Steve Martin, he was also good at playing awkward characters, and I believe that Dave Franco just doesn't have that. They might have been able to do it with Zach Braff. He's kind of good, or Jack Black can play nerdy sometimes or awkward. The most awkward person is always going to be the dude that played the 40-year-old virgin. I always forget his name, but he's good at playing awkward characters. But Dave Franco was not believable in that. And Snoop Dogg only makes a cameo, so don't think that he's going to be all through the movie. He was in like 2 scenes. He was great in those 2 scenes, but he was only in 2 scenes. Tony says, Angela, I hope you get hit with a turtle shell right at the finish line. Oh, that's a video game reference. I've never played Mario Kart, so forgive me for not getting the reference. Fomikilati says, looks like a video game. It did have feels like that sometimes. Even in some of the acting scenes for Carter, they do kind of play like a cut scene from a video game. So I can't say that the acting was amazing, but the action was definitely amazing, especially the bathhouse sequence. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Marty says day shift. Thank you. And Toadman also says day shift. No love for Hulu or HBO. HBO, the only thing I've watched this year on HBO was, oh God, there was a superhero show with John Cena, but I can't remember what the name of it was. And it was just so for me. I like John Cena a lot, and I like that he makes BTS references. But the show, I can't even remember the name of it. Hulu is what we, for me, What We Do in the Shadows. That's like my favorite comedy show of the last 3 or 4 years. The fact that I quote Laszlo every freaking week is because of What We Do in the Shadows. But I also noticed that Hulu has 2 other shows I just now discovered. One of them is called This Fool, and it's about this Mexican-American dude in California that his job is to try to rehabilitate gang members. And it's like a 30-minute comedy series. And so far, I've only seen the first episode. I think it was just the first. Or did I see the second one? I might have seen the second one. But so far, that's really good. And I also saw the first 2 episodes of Reservation Dogs, which is about these Native American kids. And it's kind of like one of those day in the life shows where it just is about what happens to them. I would compare it to maybe like Seinfeld, because Seinfeld was just about the stuff that happened to them during the course of the day. But yeah, Hulu is coming up in the ranks too. Angela says, I don't really know, but Iman gonna check it out. But I'm gonna check it out when I can after the live with you guys. And I like it so far. What I hear from you guys, love that I got here. Very cool. Trash Picture Show says, with Rick James in the Snoop Dogg role. Oh, who would be the Snoop Dogg in the 80s? I think it would be, what's his name? Antonio Vargas. If you know who Antonio Vargas is, he was the dude. He was in a lot of 1970s movies like Foxy Brown. He's the dude that says, that's my sister Foxy, and she's a whole lot of woman. That's Antonio Vargas. You might also know him from I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. He was a dude that was in jail, and then when he got out of jail, because he had been in jail since the 70s, he still had all the 70s clothes, and he had the platform shoes with the fish tanks in it. Antonio Vargas would have been the Snoop Dogg character if this was made in the 80s. Angela says, love that show. Are you talking about What We Do in the Shadows? Or are you talking about Reservation Dogs or This Fool? For your Eddie Murphy 80s version of Day Shift, maybe. Yes. OMG, are we going to talk about the show I love that show. What We Do in the Shadows. It's gold. We can talk about it. Let me. Do we have anything else to say about Carter? Because I want to talk about Prey before we go to the like free for all. But I will come back to What We Do in the Shadows because I freaking love that show so much. Like it's the writing, the layer of the jokes are so all the characters. Like you have to. They really really grow on you. I even love the doll, the little doll that is the other consciousness of why am I drawing a blank? See, I hate when I get excited and then my mind draws blanks and it makes me look like I'm not I don't know what you call it. I don't know if this happens to anyone else or whether it's a function of ADHD where there's things that you know these things, but then when you get excited and you want to talk about these things, your mind draws a blank and that bothers me so much. I hate that. That's why I usually have notes because I have these mental lapses and I don't know what that's about. I hate it. Because mind you, I've watched this show for 4 seasons and I'm drawing a blank on a character's name. Can you believe that? Angel says that sword fight with the doll. Oh yeah, that and when she was doing the limbo and she kept doing like this with her dress. She's doing like this with her dress doing the limbo. Everything the doll does is hilarious to me. Tony says, did Antonio Vargas play Fly Guy and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker? Yes, that's who I'm talking. You know what? Let me see if I can find. I'm going to find that scene from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker so y'all know who the people that maybe younger people here. I'm going to put. Sorry, my computer's a little bit slow. I have to clean off so much stuff. This scene might be stretched a little bit. Or maybe that's just the way it looked in its default. Okay. I'll put myself small. So this scene is him when he got out of jail and he put his clothes back on from what he was wearing in the 70s.
Yo, check out homeboy. See, Dominic, brother out there, huh? Look at the fish in his shoes. Girl, he must be a rock star. The brother's walking on an aquarium. Hey, brother, you get nosebleeds way up there? Maybe it's his dinner. I'm expecting a flood. Say, brother, you been shopping at the Goodwill? Brother's an endangered species. He looks like a clown.
Oh, no. That scene always gets me. But yeah, that actor's name is Antonio Vargas. Let me see if I can find him in I think it was Foxy Brown that he was in. It was either Foxy Brown or Cleopatra Jones. I forget. Yeah, it was Foxy Brown.
When Foxy Brown comes to town, all the brothers gather round, 'cause she can really shake 'em down. Pam Grier, that one chick hit squad who creamed you as coffee, is back to do a job on the mob as Foxy Brown.
You tell me what you want done, and I'll do the hell out of it.
A chick with drive who don't take no jive.
Now do you see why I like these over-the-top action movies of today?
She's sweet brown sugar with a touch of spice.
If you see a man anywhere, send him in because I do need a man.
And murder if you don't treat her nice.
Sounds like a public mess.
Sure do.
Foxy's got guts. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I better warn you, I got a black belt in karate. My black belt bars too.
She won't budge when she carries a grudge.
I want justice for all of them whose lives are bought and sold so that a few big shots can climb up on their back.
Sister, I think what you're asking for is revenge.
So there ain't no hope for dudes who deal dope.
I swear, baby, I don't know what you're talking about. We're gonna kill ourselves a couple of niggas.
Jeez. I don't get dinged for that. Because that was like a hard R.
Have no fear. Pam Grier is here as Foxy. Foxy Brown.
Yeah, but yeah, Antonio Vargas has been in these movies forever. Nadja, yes, creepy doll Nadja. I love her so much. I think that she is going to create a trend. I can see more of not a strictly gothic trend because we already have that, but I can see young people, like I can imagine young girls that are like 8, 9 years old and they're watching What We Do in the Shadows, and by the time they're 12, 13, them kind of affecting a Nadja like aesthetic. I could see that happening. Marty says, was he the original Huggy Bear in Starsky and Hutch? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. That was him. Hope you're all turned to clips. Yes, I am. I changed the speed. So hopefully we can make it through. I love Coffee when she's wrecking all those guys with the sawed-off shotgun. Yes. This is what I need back. Angela says 100%. 3 times. Did I miss anybody? Okay, I didn't miss anybody. All right. So now I'm gonna pull up Prey because I really want to talk about Prey. Have you all seen Prey yet? Let me know. There we go. Okay. Angela says, I have seen it and I like it. Toyman says, yes. Marty says, yes, I loved it. The Bollywood Easter egg ending with this requires a sequel. Yes. Let's play the trailer. This is trailer 2, not trailer 1. leave it like that. So let me switch the orientation so it's like this so we could talk about this for a minute. Actually, let me look at the comments before I get started. That trailer is awesome. I bet it's better with sound. Yeah, for some reason the audio is not, it's really, really low, even though I turned it up. People are wondering because of the advertising if this is a predator species first hunt on it. It's not. It's this tribe's first hunt. This is a young blood hunter for a desert clan. I'm not sure about that, but I will say this. I had reservations, no pun intended, about watching Prey for 2 reasons. The number 2 reason was The Predator, the last sequel that they made, was so awful. I just, like, that put a bad taste in my mouth for Predator movies. I mean, sequels that is, besides Predator 2, because I love Predator 2. That was my number 2 reason. But my number 1 reason was when I saw that they had based it around Native Americans, I took pause because myself being Native, we aren't always represented too well in media. So when I first saw that, I was like, oh, is this going to be some more bullshit? Or are they really going to actually capture, our culture is plural because we have more than one culture. So I can't, speak a whole lot on the representation in this movie because they're specifically Comanche and I'm not Comanche, but I can speak in general terms of representation. And yes, for those that have watched my channel for a while, you notice that I typically refer to myself as Black. I am also Native. I purposely do not mention being Native most of the time because people are ignorant as fuck. People are real ignorant about Native American people and Native issues. And if you're Canadian, First Nations. So I typically don't even mention that part of me. But with this particular review, I kind of have to mention it because it ties into how I felt watching the movie. So that's the only reason why I even bring it up. Marty says, sorry, silly autocorrect, first hunt on Earth. It's not. I don't think it is either because of, if what was shown in Alien versus Predator, the first Alien versus Predator, that one implied that they'd been hunting here for thousands of years, but in different areas. And that one, I think they were in Antarctica. So I think this might have been just their first hunt in what is now considered USA, but back then I would call it Mesoamerica. But yeah, so that's why I had certain misgivings about watching it. But after watching it, I was very, very happy with how they portrayed Native American culture and also the Native American heroine. And that, it made me feel good to watch that. So with that out of the way, let me talk about the movie. I really enjoy that it's a hero's journey. Nehru, it's really, or Nauru, I think they pronounce it Nauru. Her journey was really, really well fleshed out. The inverse of that is I felt like her brother and his friends, or possibly cousins, they kind of weren't fleshed out too well. They kind of were just there. We didn't know too much about them. We knew the most about Naru and her brother, but I feel like in the original Predator, we had kind of a similar issue where we knew more about Dutch than the rest of the crew, but they still had very individual personality traits. And they had that scene in the helicopter that really kind of showed who they were just through dialogue. And I feel like maybe if they had added a scene in this where you had a similar instance of them hanging out and just learning about their personality through dialogue, I think that would have helped a lot. And it would have made you feel more when the Predator got to them. Because I think that's one thing that I would say they could improve upon in this movie. When Nehru's other, we don't even know whether they were her friends or her cousins or who they were in relation to her. When the Predator got them, you didn't really feel much because you didn't get to know them. And you didn't, I don't know. They didn't flesh out the characters enough for you to care when they died. So I wish they would have done a little bit more of that. That said, her hero's journey was well illustrated. They had her fail several times before she succeeded. And I like that. And the other thing that they did is they while she was failing at trying to be a warrior and a hunter, they showed her succeeding at doing so many other things. Like one of the things that they showed her being super great at is observation. She was very detail oriented and she always noticed every little thing. And that was one of her strengths. They also showed her being great at medicine and being able to help people. And then they showed her being great at planning. And so I feel like her character was the most fleshed out character, and I enjoyed that. Marty says, still unsure about the face. It's obvious its face was touched up digitally. If you go online, you can find it without the touch up. It looks great. If you're talking about the Predator, that's the one thing that I didn't totally like. I like the original version of the Predator's face. I feel like the new version of Predator's face, like his head is too long. I wonder if I can find a side-by-side of the new Predator and the old Predator. Let me see to illustrate my point. Okay, let me go to images. No, they didn't do a side-by-side. Let me see. Do I have to make one real quick? No, I have to scroll back and forth. I'll do that. Okay, so let me remove this and then share this screen, and then we'll go back and forth. I knew there was something I forgot to do. I meant to do that. I meant to make just an image that's a side-by-side of the original Predator with the new Predator. Yeah, this is the new Predator's face. And I mean, it's okay, but I don't like it as much as... I think that one's from Predator. Let me see. There's a better picture of him. Yeah, that's the new Predator's face. That's the old Predator's face. I like this one better. I also like the locks better. The new Predator has very thin locks. The older Predator has the thicker locks that have like beads on them. That's the actor underneath the old Predator. Yeah, I like this better than... That's the original Predator. I should talk about that. That was the original Predator before the reshoots. In 1987, this is the one that Jean-Claude Van Damme was actually in this bodysuit. And that's the original Predator before they redesigned the costume. But I feel like this head shape is better. I don't know what's up with this extra long head shape. I'm not a fan of it. It kind of looks, I don't know. It looks... Yeah, I think that's with the helmet on. That's kind of looks like it's made out of bone, and this is without the helmet on. Yeah, I that's just my opinion. Your opinion may be different. You might like the new one better. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, for me, I didn't really like it. I mean, I can't say I didn't like it. I don't like it as much as the original is what I should say. I don't hate it, but I like the original look of the Predator better. I was worried about the Predator slaughtering the natives until those pesky French showed up. Oh, I totally forgot about the French. Yeah. And also, let me read these comments. There's something else I want to mention about the French. The only thing that annoyed me was the CGI animals until the bear versus Predator fight. Marty says, Amber Mid-Thunder was fantastic. She wasn't a Mary Sue. She fucked up a lot, but she used those experiences to help her defeat the Predator. I thought her brother was great. He, unlike the other boys. Motivated her and didn't brush her aside immediately. He gave her advice and in the end praised her for helping him kill the mountain lion. The design is strange, but the way I look at it, as a massive nerd. It was there a whole planet of Yujita on different hemispheres and continents. So like here on Earth, race are different in species. That's a great point, Marty, because just like if you were visiting Earth for the first time and you saw how people looked in, East Asia, and then saw people how they looked mostly in Europe and how people look in Africa, we look very different from each other, these different groups of people. So yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Marty says, I love the Pharaoh's mask. Keep in mind, this guy is also a predator from 300 years ago, and the species may have a shorter evolutionary leap. Another great point. See, Marty is just busting it out with these great points tonight. I enjoy that. Tony says, I do like how she broke off the fang and stabbed him with it. I just thought it really surprised me. And for it to go direct to Hulu, which I believe it was Hulu, right? Yeah, it was Hulu. I was really pleasantly surprised because I did not get my hopes up for this movie at all. I really thought, like, after The Predator, you have to imagine, anybody who's seen The Predator, how low my expectations were. But also a thing that brought this up, gave it a higher rating for me, was the Easter egg towards the end, which, due to the Frenchman, was that pistol, that old pistol, which for me as a fan of Predator 2, that's the pistol that the Predator gave Danny Glover's character at the end of Predator 2. And I thought that was a great tie-in. I love that. And Predator 2 was underrated. Okay, I'm going to say right out of my mind on the new fella, when I first saw that Wade, the Youngblood Yucha Predator, I thought that he wanted to sharpen his skill as a hunter and so on. Yeah, could be. It could be that he was a younger Predator. Hey, Jay's in the house. Jay says, best Easter egg. I completely best Easter egg. And if you have any reservations about Predator 2, go back and watch it now. Watch it with your mind today. I feel like people didn't give it credit when it came out because they were so invested in Dutch's character. And since Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't going to return, they really didn't give Danny Glover like the time of day. It was like, I bet you if it had been Carl Weathers or an actor like that, then they probably might have given it more time of day than Danny Glover, because I don't think they saw Danny Glover as a legit action star, even though he did a bunch of Lethal Weapon movies. I think they see those more as like buddy cop comedies than action movies. But I think he did a great job, but also the surrounding cast. It was like, I think Maria Conchita Alonso was in it, and Gary Busey was in it. Like oh, what's his name? Oh, is it Bill Paxton? I think it was Bill Paxton, who's, by the way, has been killed by a Predator, a Terminator, and an Alien. All-star. That's all-star level Scream Kings. We should respect Bill Paxton. I think he passed away, unfortunately. So RIP to him. But we should respect him as a Scream King. Tony says, Marty writes paragraphs, and here I am with a measly sentence. Well, it depends on what you're on. You might be using your phone, whereas Marty might be on his laptop, which is a lot faster for you to type things out if you're on your laptop watching something as opposed to on your phone. Although my youngest sister is a Gen Z, she could type a paragraph on a phone like that with her thumbs. Just her little hands just be going like this. And the one thing that bugs me is the gun. One, it makes my favorite comic not canon. And how does the grayback Predator get the flintlock to give to Danny Glover? Did another clan come down? Well, I think that's the Easter egg that leads us to a sequel. I feel like it sets it up for a sequel. In order for the Predator to get that gun, because at the end of the movie, Nehru has the gun. So we have to have a sequel in order for the Predator to get that gun. You're forgetting the mud, the blood letting, and if it bleeds line. Yes, these are all great Easter eggs. And I wouldn't say, well, yeah, they're homages. I would say homages to the original. Yeah, because when Nehru and her brother were tied to the tree, she was feeling defeated. Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to how are we going to defeat this creature? And her brother says, if it bleeds, we can kill it. And then also the scene with the mud, but the scene with the mud kind of was an homage to the original Predator, because of course Arnold uses the blood to disguise his body heat so the Predator can't read it. Whereas Nehru does a similar thing, but she has these little flowers that are used for medicine in her tribe that she notices makes people's body temperature drop. So she uses that to disguise her body temperature. But a lot of what she did to defeat the Predator was not being stronger than him, but being smarter. And wipe out Nehru's tribe. I need to know. Then give me my Predator in Edo era Japan. That would be pretty cool too. I would love to see, especially if they have samurai at that time period. I would love to see a samurai go up against the Predator. Tim Madone is here. Welcome to the stream, Tim. Tim says, and Bill actually got to go down to the real Titanic and see it firsthand in 2001. Did not know that. Marty says, on my phone, Tony, the power of Predator nerdism gives me the power to type like a madman on the phone. Oh, wow. Marty has the thumbs. Angela says, and he went after anything that could bring him a great fight, and it was so spot on for it. Like when you see a newly blooded hunter, it made me think that he is from a tribe and to build up a big game. Yeah, it was like he and Nehru had the same quest in a way, because his quest is probably to prove to his tribe that he's a great hunter, and her quest was also to prove that she could be a hunter. And what's very interesting, by the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't notice this or didn't mention this. It really depends on which tribe, because there are a lot of Native American tribes where it wasn't out of the norm for a woman to be a hunter. I'm not as familiar with Comanche, so maybe their gender roles were more rigid, but there were other Native American tribes where that wasn't a thing. It's just, if you're good at hunting, you're good at hunting. And it wasn't made to be of women do this and men do that type of thing. But like I said, there's hundreds of Native American tribes, and they do have some similarities, but they also have some differences. So it's very important to note that. Okay, Jay says, Predator needs Black Air Force One's next movie. I can kind of picture it I can picture this at a convention. I can picture somebody walking around a convention in a Predator cosplay with Black Air Force Ones. It was a David versus Goliath, and Bill was also in Weird Science. Yes, he was. He played the older brother. I want to say Ted. I want to say the older brother's name was Ted, who was in military school, or was he in military? I couldn't tell whether he was meant to be in military school or whether he was in regular military. But he got turned into like a turd monster in Weird Science. Oh, there's a couple things that, you know what, I need to take a break to do something real quick. Let me move this over here. I went through almost the entire stream and forgot to mention this. There's a contest happening. I want you guys to know about it. Let me stop the screen and tell you about this, because I think you'll like it. It's hosted by Black Lagoon TV, and I'm going to show you their website right quick. I'm going to show you, they have a little bit of a, sorry, my computer is so slow sometimes, it's so irritating. I want a supercomputer. Let me put the audio on. See, September 8th, Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. This is the Universal Studios in California, I believe, and they are having a contest. I'll show you the info on their contest. It's for free tickets to the Halloween Horror Nights. Oh, they're VIP tickets. I misspoke. They are VIP tickets, which I think means you get to the front of the line a hell of a lot faster. So, says how to win a contest. Follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Like our most recent post and tag 3 friends. And then when done, comment with the post. Hashtag BLTVHHN, which is Black Lagoon TV Halloween Horror Nights. So we know it's for the contest. It says you can increase your odds of winning by following us on other social media platforms and commenting with hashtag BLTVHHN. And at the top of their website here, which is blacklagoontv.com, you have links here for Facebook, Instagram, I guess this is Snapchat, maybe, Vimeo, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm going to write it down here as well. Black Lagoon TV. Am I spelling it right? Yep. .com. And then they were also generous enough to tell me a bit about their merch. I'll show you on here because they are launching this new merch, which is like some sweatshirts here. Nice choice in the models. I like that. They got some t-shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, tank tops. I'm going to skip through. I'll go to 3. It looks like they have a mug here. It's not bad. A couple mugs. Backpacks. That's nice. And I'm going to skip to 5. You guys can go through this, and if you want to see each individual page, I didn't want to hold up the stream too long. Oh, a fanny pack. That's pretty cool. Now, what's cool is they actually gave me a discount code. I'm going to type it in here. It's FREQ20 for 20% off anything in their merch store. So if you see something you like there, apply that discount code and you will get 20% off. And I might get a little kickback from that too. Don't you want to help me out? Because I'm broke as hell and I need some help. Honesty is the best policy. Let's get to these comments now. I'm behind. Okay, Tony says, when I mentioned Black Air Force One energy, I was met with pushback. I don't know what that means. What does Black Air Force One energy mean? Okay, Jay and Tony Man, you need to explain what this means because I don't understand what the Black Air Force One energy means. I should Google it. Marty says favorite kill is a draw between the guy who gets pulped with a net and the poor fool who tried to shank the predator and got decapitated. He gets the guy pinned to the tree and looks at him like to say, really, dude? Yes. You have a supercomputer over your shoulder. No, that computer is 12 years old and it's slower actually than the laptop. I just use it for editing because there are some things that the sound editing I'm better able to do with the Mac than on my HP laptop. Mac is really, really great with sound editing. But it's 12 years old and I'm using it on borrowed time. It's going to I mean, there's no updates for it already, and I'm living on borrowed time. It's going to be borrowed time when I can no longer use it. I'd love to get the new one. That would be cool. Marty says, I also want to see, I feel like I'm skipping I thought I saw Angela post something. No, I read that one. I thought she posted another one, and I guess I didn't see it. I also wanted to yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm gonna try. Yaojita or Yaojita Huntress, like the ones from the comics, Sister Midnight and Cleopatra. Ironically, those names make them sound like Pam Grier characters, maybe an influence. Well, who was it that starred in Cleopatra? It was a different woman that starred in Cleopatra Jones. Who was that? I'm gonna Google it right now. I like that movie too. Cleopatra Jones is like if you made Foxy Brown more of like a James Bond type character, because Cleopatra Jones was more like a not just James Bond in the fact that she's an agent, but she had this cool car where like in the panels of the car door, she had her weapons in there. It was really cool. Tamara Dobson is who played or Tamara. I don't know whether it's Tamara or Tamara Dobson played Cleopatra Jones. I'm going to show you her picture. Oh, you know what? When I was going through the products, I don't think you guys could see it. I don't think you guys could see the products when... Hang on. Y'all just sat there through my whole spiel and didn't even tell me you couldn't see. You couldn't see the While I'm talking about Cleopatra Jones, I'll bring it back up because I feel bad. Okay, that's the fanny pack. And I'll go back. It was like page 3 that had the mugs and things on there. So I was sitting here talking and nobody, y'all just let me run. There's the mugs and the book bags. So they got their little merch going on. And here are the sweatshirts. Okay, so let me get back to what I was doing. You know what? I should just show you the trailer for Cleopatra Jones. That's even better than just showing a picture. I was about to pull up an image, but I'm going to show the trailer. Okay, Jay says, when does it start? Because I'm in Florida next month. This contest is for the Halloween Horror Nights in California, but let me know when you're in Florida. Tim says, anyone get tickets yet for Jeepers Creepers Reborn? I got mine a few days ago. I don't know. I don't know whether I'm going to pay to see Jeepers Creepers because I saw the trailer. I was not impressed. I might wait for that to come to streaming. I'll send you an Air Force One link. Thank you. So that I know what the meme is about. I'm having an old lady moment. I don't know what this meme is. Angela says, plus it didn't show how the Yajuta on how he wouldn't contact with us and pure bloodlust and started to wonder if he was a bad blood. I'll just cash app you to cash. Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Just saying out loud. Oh, it's not a problem. Utja. See, to be fair, I'm not familiar with the Predator comics, so this is all like news to me when I'm reading the comments from Angela and Marty, because they obviously know way more than I do about the Predator species and also different things that have happened in the comic series. He might have been Angela, as he was a cheater and did share slight traits with the Berserker Bad Bloods from 2010's Predator. But yeah, definitely need Predator Huntress in 1. They're at least a foot taller than the males and are faster. They mainly do the Who Shield Maiden thing and raise the young and look after the clan affairs. And Toby says, maybe I get to meet Jay. Yes, because Tony Man is also in Florida, one town over from me. All right, let me find Cleopatra Jones so you guys can see. Hopefully, you know what? Maybe I can find a scene with her car. Okay, that says just Cleopatra Jones. It might be, this one might be a compilation. Let me see. Yeah, this is car chase scene. Airport. We'll see the official trailer. It's not pausing. No, let me change the speed on this. There we go. All right, here's Cleopatra Jones. I have to rewind just a pinch.
Now guess who jumped out of the woodpile?
Okay, granted, the kung fu was never good in these movies, but it was entertaining. There's her car.
If I ever hear you selling so much as a cough drop, I'm coming down on you so hard.
Tamara Duff's the Soul Sisters answer to James Bond, and the most exciting new star in years. 6 feet 2 of dynamite, and it's all stacked.
I told you where.
I didn't know she was so tall.
I told you when, and I told you how to get there.
That's the villain, this lady.
Cleopatra Jones. She is sticking her nose in my business, Zach.
And up against her is the arch enemy, the female successor to Goldfinger, 2-time Academy Award winner Shelley Winters as Mummy.
I did not know that was Shelley Winters.
Don't crowd me, boy. You better put that down before I make you eat it.
Oh, I don't want this town to blow up.
Big deal. Just hang it right there.
Man, that road is 10 miles of bad road.
I know Antonio Vargas was in this too. He was in everything. I need to rewatch this. I haven't seen this in like probably since I was 18 or 19 years old.
You are no match for that black lady.
I'll take care of Cleopatra Jones.
Cleopatra Jones, starring Tamara Duff, co-starring Bernie Casey, Brenda Sykes, Esther Rolle, and Shelley Winters as Mummy.
Look at that.
And with your love, oh honey, you shook me.
That's what I call some extra heavy double duty stuff.
There was a scene, I seem to remember like a wheelchair scene in Cleopatra Jones. Let me see if I can find it, but let me tell you something that I remember. Back when I was in college, at one point I was going to Florida Memorial. I didn't graduate from there. I ended up transferring. But when I went to Florida Memorial, which is a historically black college in Miami, they used to have a movie night. And these are the movies they used to play in a movie night. And at that time, I was 19 years old. And so we watched, Cleopatra Jones and Foxy Brown. But the most popular movie was Dolomite. Like whenever they played Dolomite, it was like everybody showed up to watch Dolomite. Maybe it wasn't Cleopatra Jones. There's some 70s movie where somebody was pretending to be in, I want to say they were pretending to be in a wheelchair and they just hopped up out the wheelchair with a machine gun. I thought it was Cleopatra Jones, but I don't see, like when I put in Cleopatra Jones wheelchair scene, nothing comes up. So maybe I'm confusing it for a different movie. Maybe it was a scene in a different movie. If y'all know what the hell I'm talking about, let me know. Tony says, trying to get home ASAP. It's about to open the hell up over here. Oh, you must mean the sky Is it supposed to rain? Question, and I apologize if this comes off being tokenistic, but would you ever do a Blaxploitation or Pam Grier stream? Again, I really hope I'm not coming off as a dick or insensitive. That's no, I don't take any offense to that at all. If anything, I actually take it as a compliment because I would love to be compared to these women. These are amazing women, and I'm glad that I grew up seeing them. I mean, by the time I was growing up, I was watching these movies on video, so I didn't see like the originals in the theater or anything like that. But I appreciate these women so much. I should do a Blaxploitation stream. That would be a lot of fun, actually. Oh, I should do it. I should do it specifically in October so I could do. Well, no, I can cosplay anytime, but I typically cosplay more in October. But I would love to do a full 70s cosplay. You just don't even know. But yeah, Angela says, love the video clip here. Just you obviously have a passion and love from the genre. Think it would kick ass if you did. Again, sorry, you're not being an ass at all. I feel like right now I think people are being well, I can't judge people because I was about to say people are being too sensitive, but it's not for me to tell people how to feel about a thing. So I'm gonna walk that back. But yeah, I get where somebody might feel like that's stereotypical, but for me, I feel proud of this because it's a part of Black American culture. We worked on these movies. Yeah, a lot of times these movies had white producers and white production companies, but the actors, a lot of the music was done by Black people. It's to me, I feel like that's part of our culture, and I think we should be proud of that part of our culture. And as you can see, a lot of these movies, we were the heroes. The drug dealers were the villains. And I mean, I want to see something like this come back. It would be great to have these type of films come back, which they kind of are. If you go on Tubi and you see like the super, super ultra low budget movies like Gun Wave in New Haven, or like, I can't think of another one, but there's a bunch of like micro budget Black made movies on Tubi, and they do kind of have that feel of Blaxploitation, but I think I would call it neo Blaxploitation. Another subset of that, before I move on to the other comments, that I like to see more of is the Black thriller, and I really am enjoying the Black thrillers. The stuff like No Good Deed, and even the remakes. I spoke a few weeks ago about this remake. There was a remake. I'm gonna go ahead and play you the trailer for it. Yeah. Now, we've seen the white version of the movie. It was called Single White Female. There was also a Black version, which was actually really, really good. Like, you would think that it wouldn't be that good, but it really was that good. So I'm going to go ahead and play. This is a really short clip. Let me pause this to make sure I can change the change something on here so I don't get dinged. Okay, it's going to play a little bit fast, but check this out.
The most anticipated Lifetime movie event.
Monica, let me introduce you to your assistant, Simone Hicks. You two actually look alike.
I did a background check on her. She's crazy. That's some single Black female type trouble.
And yes, that was K. Michelle.
How did you get into my house? I'm just a kind of sick fan. Why are you doing this? Nobody ever chooses me.
Amber Riley, Raven Goodwin, Single Black Female. Premiere Saturday, February 5th at 8. Only on Lifetime.
That movie was really good. I mean, you would think that it wouldn't be good, but it was really, really good. And then there was another one. By the way, Tubi is making their own Tubi originals. And there was one I saw a couple weeks ago. I think Marquise Houston starred in it. I'll show you the trailer for that one. It's also a remake of a thriller. And it's also starring someone from Love and Hip Hop, because you saw K. Michelle was in Single Black Female. Now this one is called The Stepmother. And of course, it's a remake of The Stepfather. And it stars Erica Mena.
April was a beautiful wife, but you gotta move on. You got each other now.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm new here.
You move too fast. You don't know nothing about this lady?
things will change. She goes after little men with teenage boys.
She's a ghost.
We need to find her before she does this again.
Mama's here. All I wanted was a real family. I miss you.
Leave my father alone!
Now, the stepmother was not as good as Single Black Female, but it was still entertaining. Okay, let me get into these comics because I'm way behind. Okay, Filmic Life says maybe the scene is from the second Cleopatra Jones movie. Good point. It could have been from the sequel. Angela says, Martin, how do you feel about the Fasol looks like the Predator and Prey? I forgot to ask you. Tim says, got to include Sugar Hill and Black Belt Jones. Yes, I reviewed Sugar Hill. It's in my playlist of Black horror movies, but I have not reviewed Black Belt Jones, which is also, well, the thing with Black Belt Jones is that a lot of the dialogue in that you cannot say today. She's calling people the hard F word rhymes with maggot. And in the 70s, that was a thing, but today you can't do that. But the movie itself is still a great movie. There's certain things that people said back then, like, you can't say that now. Well, you saw in one of the trailers, somebody was calling somebody a hard ER. And no, we don't do that in film, unless it's like a historical drama type of thing. We don't do that. Full Mickey Lighter says, now I'm wondering if I'm making up a second film. I wouldn't be surprised. For some reason, I feel like there was a Cleopatra Jones sequel as well. Could be another Mandela effect. I don't know. Angela says, love that you talk about girl power. There is so much movies I haven't even heard about, like Black Belt. Oh, yeah, you have to check that one out. I think there's 2 Black Belt Jones movies, if I'm not mistaken. DMC says, hey, Shasha. And Jay says, LOL. And Trash Picture says, yo, DMC. He's saying, hey to Marty back. Hey, Capri. And I should say, welcome back to the stream, DMC, as well. Capri says, are you a fan of The Walking Dead? I am not, actually. I find that show to be super boring. I tried to watch it. I actually ended up enjoying Z Nation a little bit better than The Walking Dead, but I didn't even really love Z Nation too tough. I feel like zombies don't make for good. They make for good movies, but not continuing TV shows. Unless, trying to think if there is one zombie show I do really, really enjoy. And that one is called We're All Gonna Die, or We're All Dead, or All of Us Are Dead. It's called All of Us Are Dead. Sorry, I had to get the title right. All of Us Are Dead. That's on Netflix. It's really, really good. And it's a Korean series that comes from a webtoon. So you can look up the All of Us. Oh, I hear the sky about to open up. Hopefully I don't get kicked off the internet because I hear thunder and lightning. You know what? I can just show you. All of Us Are Dead. The version that's on Netflix, it comes in 2 versions. You can watch the original Korean language with the subtitles, but there's also an English dub. The voice acting is pretty good. Also, the zombie acting is really, really good. Let me make sure. Okay, we're good.
가위바위보. 가위바위보. 가위바위보.
가자 딱비. 바이러스란 살아남고자 하는 본능은 지능을 뛰어넘고 인류는 바이러스와의 싸움에서 단 한 번도 이긴 적이 없어. 그럼 교과서가 틀린 거예요? 틀렸어.
야.
잡아.
뭔데 무슨 일인데? 부사장이다. 우리가 왜 학교에 나와? 영화에 나와야지. 바이러스야. 감염된 인간은 극한의 공포심을 느낀 후에 오직 살기 위해 상대를 공격한다. 인간으로 죽느니 괴물이 돼서라도 살아남으라고. 다 죽을 거야. 희망 같은 거 갖지 마라. 제 옆에 도와주세요. 죄송합니다. 다리 기다리고 있어요.
손 놓지 마. 놓치지도 말고. 맞다.
Leave it like that. There we go. Why didn't it move? Yeah, I like that zombie show. Okay. Tony says, and answer your rain question, you're about to get hit before me. Yeah, because if it's moving from north to south, it'll probably... Wait, is Altamont north of Orlando or south of Orlando? I can't remember. Or is it east of Orlando? He says, I told you. Yeah. Hey, got to talk to Jen. Fun and awesome as always. Please think Kara from Horror Spec was hoping to collab with you this weekend. Stay awesome. Yes, she did contact me. I spoke with her on Twitter. But thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that. Cleopatra Jones in the Casino of Gold. I knew I wasn't crazy. Thank you. See, you almost had me doubting myself because you said the sequel and I was like, yeah. And then you were like, oh, maybe there isn't one. And I so okay. So we're not crazy. We remember something that existed. West to east, Tony Man says. Okay, so Orlando is east of west is west. No, Orlando is west of Altamont. Hey guys, what's your worst zombie movie have you ever seen and the best? My worst is Zombie Strippers and my best and fave is Z Wars. My favorite zombie movie is Return of the Living Dead. I mean, that's what it is. That's my absolute favorite zombie movie. I would say Train to Busan is also a close second, but my absolute favorite is definitely Return of the Living Dead. Worst zombie movie. Probably there was a zombie movie that came on a Sci-Fi Channel. I forgot what it was called, but it was just army guys fighting zombies, and it was really bad. So that I'm trying to think if there's anyone that I can actually remember the name of. Because mostly if I watch a zombie movie and it's not good, I turn it off within the first 20 minutes because life is too short. So worst zombie movie. Can I name a movie that I didn't even watch just because the trailer was that bad? And I'm going to say World War Z. World War Z, the way that the CGI looked, I didn't even bother to watch that movie. Capri says, also, it's a rumor going around that it's supposed to be another Friday the 13th in production. Yeah, I've also heard that. I've heard that. I hope it's just a sequel, not a reboot. Because Friday the 13th doesn't need a reboot. All you need to do is just... I mean, well, typically, I should say the sequels kind of are reboots because they kind of are always people going back to Camp Death and, you know, him popping back up again. So why don't they just do that again? But this time the people think, oh, well, he's probably gone because decades have passed. We can reopen the camp and then just do that. You reopen the camp, actually do it similarly to the way the first one was, where you have the camp. The first Friday the 13th, the campers never arrived. It was just the camp counselors that came there a week early to set up the camp that were the victims. So you could literally just do that again, but from a modern perspective where they feel like it's safe because it's been so many decades since the last time anything happened at the camp that they can reopen it. And of course, you know, Jason being the undead, it's, I'm going to call him a paranormal entity because he's in part 7. I think it was part 7 or was it part 5? Jason Lives. The one that was subtitled Jason Lives, where the guy stuck the pitchfork in him and it got hit by lightning. I feel like that's what made him supernatural. Since he's a supernatural entity, he could always pop back up. So I feel like that's what they could do with that. Just have the screenplay, just some new counselors going to reopen the camp, and Jason shows back up, and that's it. You don't need anything extra. That's it. Cleopatra Jones is now on my list. Good. Yes, you're west of me. And Caprice says City of Living Dead wasn't great at all. I don't dislike City of the Living Dead. I kind of like the Italian movies. I like City of Living Dead. I like Burial Ground. There's another one, Zombie and Zombie 2. Those are really great. Tim says my favorite is Night of the Living Dead, 1968. I'm not sure about the worst. Maybe Return to Living Dead, Rave to the Grave. I have not seen that one, actually. I think I stopped at Return to Living Dead 3. Ooh, Friday the 13th, good time. Yes. If they do it justice. And the rumor that I heard is that they are going to try to get Kane Hodder back. Two things that were promised. Bob is not here, but I believe he said to watch the trailer for What Joshua Saw. And I think that's the movie that Tony Man was talking about. I almost forgot about that. So we will check that out. And I believe it's going to, What Joshua Saw is on Shudder. Yes, it is. Yes, I was right. It's loading a little bit. Oh, come on. There we go. Here we go. Let's see what happens here.
If we right our ways and we right a great wrong, then we can save her. We can save your mother, boy.
Wait, that doesn't seem like it's sped up. Is it? No, it says that it is. Okay. That guy will always be the cop from Terminator 2 to me.
He told me it's time to let the place go.
What about Paul?
An old bastard just wants revenge. There's something he's doing. I need to wait till dark to tell you. It's dark now.
Cover your ears, pour out a blast will ring. And when that rumbling shakes the walls, you can hear that bell sing. Son, cover your ears, pour out a blast will ring. And when that rumbling shakes,
When you run, boy,
the walls,
you run far from here.
you can hear that bell sing.
I have no idea what I just watched or what it's about. I'm sorry. It's like my eyes glazed over. I don't know. I don't know on this one. This is iffy. But it's been recommended to me, so maybe I will trust the people that are recommending this to me. So maybe I'll check it out. But if it was just up to me, like it doesn't seem too exciting. But it could be one of those things where they don't reveal too much in the trailer because they want to save it for the movie. So I hope it's that type of situation, because on the reverse of that, it's not good when a trailer shows too much, is what we saw in The Invitation. The trailer for The Invitation, they showed us the whole movie. Like, I don't need to watch it. I know what's going to happen. And just because we talked about it earlier, I'm going to play this because I just want to. before I wrap it up.
Until this one came along. Oh, hang on.
Oh, that could be perfect.
Do you like?
I love.
Okay, so do we need to do any sort of occult procedure or ceremony or... It was that easy.
Oh, yes, this will do nicely.
Oh, shh, no more talking. I don't want the boys to know that you have taken a new form. I don't think they would understand.
Jessica, I think you need to hear this. You have been busy these past 700 years. Oh, he's so pathetic. I love it. Seriously, call me.
Interesting choice for the walls. It's not how I would do it. Hello, darling.
Hello, my darling. What have you got there?
Oh, nothing really. Just a little dolly I thought might cuten up the place.
What a charming addition.
Just couldn't sit there playing games when my last know is so fragile and out there just all alone.
He survived this far, so...
Hello.
Oh.
So, what's your deal? I did, however, try to kiss the Naja doll, and its rejection stung.
So, what is your name, stranger?
My name is Jackie.
Jackie Dayton.
Come here. I want to see if your other toothpick is made of wood.
I want that doll. Did somebody make that doll? Oh, see, Tony Man knows me. Okay, Capri says a long time ago. And you wrote down the movie on your trusty notepad. It was the one I was talking about. Yeah, that was the trailer. What Joshua saw. What do you think? Do you guys think it looks interesting? It didn't really pique my interest too much. Tony says, I love that doll. It should be the next. Yes, it should be the next. And I want that doll. And I still also want the Glinda doll. I don't know if they sell that. Okay, it's the sky is rumbling more and more and more. I think I better close up shop before I get kicked off the internet anyways. But I had a great time talking to y'all, even though I went off topic so many times. But, ADHD going to ADHD. Like, if I don't have, like a list of notes, I tend to do this. I tend to go off topic. Before I go, let me share a couple other things that I'm working on. And I am going to get back into recording. I know for this whole summer, I haven't really recorded reviews, and I have not abandoned recording reviews. I just took a break for the summer and just did live streams, but I'm definitely going to get back into my regular format of my recorded reviews and, double feature reviews. And I'm going to bring back Sci-Fi Saturday. So I think you're really going to enjoy that. Tony Man says, awesome time as always. Angela says, thank you and same to you. We got to hang out with you. I really appreciate you. I had a good time talking to you, Angela. I hope to see you soon again. Tim says, I think the scariest looking doll I've ever seen is the one from Trilogy of Terror. Yes, you're talking about the Zuni War. I think it was a Zuni War statue. I want that one so bad. When I look him up, the only person that's making them is selling them for like $600, which is a lot. So I might have to make my own Zuni warrior doll. But on my other channel, which is called Fashion Freak TV, I have been reviewing 90 Day Fiance, and this was from the reunion part 1. But on this Monday coming, I'll be reviewing the reunion part 2. I also just finished up Love in Paradise. My video got temporarily taken down for a copyright claim, but I disputed it and they released it. So the video is back up. So you can now watch the review of Love in Paradise episodes 8 and 9. And then I also am still reviewing 90 Day Fiance UK, which, it is what it is. It's a mess. It's a firm mess. And yesterday we did a live stream. It was about Hellbound and Ju-on. Next week, I'm going to try to finish up that series and do episodes 5 and 6. Because yesterday I only got a chance to do episodes 4. So that's enough of me plugging my own stuff. And I'm just going to get out of here right quick because I feel like it's time. I feel like I'm going to get, the internet is going to, crap out on me. So Tonyman says, love that Richard from UK. I hope to speak to him again. Yeah. By the way, somebody from 90 Day was one of the cast members was commenting underneath my video. And so that's a thing that happened. But with that, let me get the heck out of here. I will see y'all soon. Thank you again, as always. Take care.
Turn it down and turn it down right